said outskirts of the track, not the field. Boy, you gonna make me say something that I ain't supposed to say. Let's go.
They can't stay flat. Y'all didn't do that, my boy.
I can follow you on 100. I can follow you on 105. That last year.
If I had one person that I would pinpoint, would be Deion McKinley. Deion is my actual first linebacker that I don't know when can take him. Deion was a big red guy, and a lot of the guys that we talked about, they all played red, so it was a lot of individuality, and we had to make them buy in. A lot of them haven't been coached before, and we had to coach them, and it was their first year or two actually being coached, and Deion stepped in as a seventh grader last year who was much smaller. He was chunky. Well, not really chunky, but he wasn't who he was. He had a lot of baby on him. And, man, he was one of the hardest hitters on the team. And this year, he brought his game to another level. Deion won MVP in the B2 Born to Compete Championship Series. He was Defensive Player of the game. And he also ran the ball a lot. But, man, Deion, his intellect, as an individual, he's also an honor roll kid in the classroom, and it shows on the field because he was the quarterback of the defense. And on the way to the Ola game, he was sitting up right there next to Coach Casey, me, and Coach Gardner, and we telling him what to look for. We seeing what you see out there, and on the field they translate it. He come to us, he telling us what they doing, what we seeing, we making adjustments, and he's getting the D lineman in the right position. He's telling the outside linebackers where to go. He was just an extra coach on the field, and it feels good seeing him reap the benefits because on this team, man, it's a lot of star names that you're going to see in the future. And Deion's name is probably going to be up there with those guys that we talk about on here.
Rope jumping. Try your foot on. Why you jump up off? Let me try. I ain't got it in.
And then I did them, and then I came back when you told me.
Coach Gardner, aka Coach G. I've been with the Tigers since 2018. I definitely wanted to, help out in 2018. You feel me? I feel like I had some resources and some knowledge at my disposal that, I could just use to, help put it to another level defensively.
You got to step with that right foot. If we zoning right, you got to step with this foot. If you step with this foot, like I said, you're opening yourself up, and we don't have that much power, all right? You're opening it up for him to slide through there. We're trying to create a wall when we're zoning. All right, so we got to step with that correct foot. Let's try it again. There.
Okay, so me and Coach Casey really was talking about the defense. I would say probably around March, April, if not before then, because we already knew who we had coming back from that previous season. Like Coach Washington talked about, we had a strong 7th grade class, and we knew that if we weren't going to win the championship in 2021, we definitely were going to make a run for it in 2022. So with the weight room that we implemented this summer throughout the offseason and everything, our main focus was just, improving our strength at the point of attack.
You be good. Y'all got another game? You got a game off?
That's all I was throwing with.
Play physical, play fast, play smart. All right, let me get your.
Okay, sir.
Just the broke one.
You ready, Jim Boys?
Not broke.
You.
What I called you last year? Not Kelsey or something else? I thought I called you something else. Soft. I thought I called you something else last time.
Put his on.
You don't got to throw it so hard wide open.
I don't. Come on.
I'm about to say, my boy gonna tell you because he was wide open.
Man, this Michael Vick right there, boy.
I'm telling you, like, bro, relax.
Boy, Vick gonna throw bullets, boy.
Relax.
Hey, what up, boy?
So y'all gotta understand that North Clay, it ain't just about just coaching and trying to get a win out of these guys, but we want to show these guys that we actually care. Got one of our starters needed some new shoes for the playoff. We didn't think twice about it, you know what I mean? So we finna bless them with these brand new cleats. Hopefully, you know what I mean? We know he's gonna ball out. Wanted to be an encouragement for him to stay on the right path, on the up and up. You know what I mean? Coach Marcus West. I've been a part of the North Clay Middle School football staff since the year of 2017, and it's a blessing to be here. Well, first of all, the first thing I just want to say is that being a part of this coaching staff is almost like a dream job. It's something that I'm thankful and grateful for. Being blessed to be a part of the 2017 championship team, head coach Corey Washington, I can really say that he built something very special here. So I've been through the ups and through the downs, which makes this season was about redemption for us because we suffered, as Coach Washington mentioned, we suffered 2 bad losses in the playoffs. But when I seen 2 things that I could say helped flip the switch about this team is that we returned a lot of starters from last year. And over the past few years, we've been lobbying and trying our best to get a weight room because we seen the benefits and we seen how other teams were not more skilled than us, but we saw teams that were handling us physically. So we knew that one key to dominance would be us getting a weight room. And so from last year to now, from the time that these guys started spring training back earlier in April of this year, we started to see a different level of commitment from the guys that returned from last year as starters. And it just took that leadership being contagious and that spirit to win just gravitating amongst our boys and everything that the coaches instilled to them. Luckily, it ended up transitioning to the field of play.
Oh, he scored. He scored. Call!
gonna put Juju. He gonna put you on Juju. Cole, we gonna call. All right, line it up. 5-on-5. 5-and-5.
Just as a teacher, I can say that you know, every year you grow a bond with the young men, and you always think every single year this is the best group I've ever had. But I'm here to tell you that this particular group has probably been the best group of guys that I've coached in my 10 years of coaching. And I think that with my position and my role on the team is sort of unique in a way, because with me teaching the 8th grade and most of our starters being in the 8th grade, I actually get more time to interact and see these guys in a different light, probably more so than the other coaches do. So I think that definitely played a part to the success that we had this year, being that most of the starters are in my classroom or on my hallway. So I always try to instill into them that academics is first. A lot of our guys are on the honor roll. I mean, we had Donovan Stoker, who actually missed the game this year. He's a key starter to speak at a Stop the Violence or local district event, which we thought said a lot about his character. But I can go down the line. Our quarterback, Justin Murphy, Amir White, Jordan Datcher, Deion McKinley, Quentin Isaiah, Ricky, Kelsey, Donovan. I mean, the list goes on. And those guys, I can say that they bring the mentality of excellence to the classroom. And another thing I just find unique is that some of our guys who are not stars or starters on our team are actually stars and scholars in the classroom. And every team needs that balance of academics being first and athletics being second. But I can't say enough about how proud I am of the development and the maturity of the young men in this group that we had this year. I'm definitely going to miss them, but I'm definitely going to be right there with them to support them, not just on the field, but if they ever need anything, I'll always be here to support them.
Pop top, pop top, pop top, pop top, pop top.
Alright, boy, we need to tell Captain, you the kicker?
I am the kicker, coach.
Huh?
I am the kicker.
You kick off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Boom now.
Hey, we got inside there. We're gonna work on these run with the run block. All right. It looking like they're giving us a 4-4 front, so we'll go with the 4-4 front, but we also gonna go with a 5 front look as well. So we won't get caught off guard. I know for a fact they're not gonna go with a 3 look. So it's either gonna be a 5 or a 4 for our offensive linemen mostly. So let's focus in on that lineman so we can get this blocking down pat.
Well, he said we ain't blocking. Our offensive line ain't blocking.
That's fine. He must got some old games he was watching. He do. Cause the past 3-4 games we've
I've
been.
been scoring every time I get the ball.
Exactly.
He actually owe y'all some breakfast.
Yeah.
He
You
ain't
ain't
looking
tell
out
her
for
that.
y'all.
See, now I ain't eat
You ain't telling that. Pancakes. I need some pancakes.
So yeah, so we're gonna work on this inside run today, and then we're gonna get out of here, man. Let's focus. Let's get stuff done how we should be getting it done, and if we need to go over our defense a little bit more at the end, we'll do that as well. But we definitely got to work on this running. We can't do nothing if we can't run the ball.
Go. There you go. Run with him. Ball. Go get him. Go get him. Ricky's just fast.
Yeah, he just fast.
Ricky's just fast.
We want to run Georgia. If we want to run Georgia, we can still do our pull with this guy right here. This is that counter, the counter thing. We can do this. So that'll be, if we got this motion right here and I call Georgia, he'll be pulling outside.
Ooh, I give you a lead block.
You got me?
Sideline.
So
All right, watch between. Me and V. Why we at? One for another. Tigers on me, Tigers on 3. 1, 2, 3. Tigers.
I had too many drop balls at practice, but it's not gonna get right over the weekend. But just get myself right. Just go home, practice more. And if you drop ball, I'm gonna do push-ups and pull-ups, I guess. I mean, I'm not really satisfied for a while at practice day. Got playing around so much, but I'm gonna get it right. That's all I gotta say.
I'm not impressed with anything Baptist done. Physically, we match up perfectly with them. We just got to play disciplined ball. We got to be disciplined in our drops. We got to be disciplined with our minds. We got to come ready to win. We got to knock them out early. We really got to go at them early. So I feel confident. I think Monday come around, they're going to, a focus going to switch. Pretty confident in our team. The leaders, that is. I'm confident in the leaders.
Kind of the same thing I've been telling folks the whole season. It's just like more physical team. All right, we got to come out hitting them hard and hitting them early. Like Coach said, we got to go ahead and knock them out. Them go ahead and handle business. They've been doing a lot of back and forth with our player, but we try not to feed into it. We only handle our business between the lines. You know, like I said, I haven't seen nothing that just overly just intimidate us. Like I said, we using that as fuel to the fire. Yeah, man, we just got to come out and be physical, play our game, be smart. You feel me? Play smart, play hard, play fast. That's really it. Play North Clayton football. We're going to handle business. That's what we do.
that eventually played a huge part in this 22 season on the offensive line, and that was Kelsey Adams. Probably arguably one of the best players in the state of Georgia right now. I think they have him on a 2027 watch list as a number 2 player in the state of Georgia. So with him coming in, and then we had another kid named Donovan Stoker that transferred in, and Carl Henderson. Carl Henderson came back. Well, he came in and played his 8th grade year, and we had 2 other linemen. I'm really focusing on this line because this line was very instrumental in this season this year, arguably one of the best lines I've had since we've been here at North Clayton. I definitely want to shout out our line coaches, Coach Gardner and Coach Penny, on that, and we had a great line this year with those 2 coming in. So Amir coming back as our running back, with that line that we had, and our passing game was not at the level that I wanted to be at. If you know anything about the history of our program, we like to air it out. That's my main thing, as you know, as the play caller here at the school. I like to air the ball out. But this year I had to just come to the realization that our offensive line is the best thing that we have, and we're gonna pound the ball. So that's what we did all season. Behind Amir White, he actually won Newcomer of the Year his 7th grade year, and then he came back this year and had an MVP caliber season running the ball. He ran us right to a county and a state championship, honestly. So we were just, our main thing was finding our identity offensively. Our first 3 games of the season, when we came in against Eddie White, we had pieces. We had an offense on the field, let me say that, but the pieces weren't in the correct spot, and we still didn't have the offensive system that we were going to run, which we had a 4-wide system coming out against Eddie White in a scrimmage game and against Forest Park as well. So pretty much we had that 4-wide system against Eddie White, which is a scrimmage game, Forest Park, as well as, I want to say Jonesboro. That's what I want to say. But I think we may have switched it up right before the Jonesboro game. But the turning point of the season was really, where we really switched the offense completely around, was the MD Roberts game. That game, we didn't score a point offensively at all. Offense just looked bad, you know, for lack of a better phrase. It just didn't look good at all. So, you know, as coaches, we regrouped. came back and said, hey, we can't have another game like this. We got to make some changes. Went to Carl Henderson, talked to Carl at school the next day. I said, Carl, you think you can help us out at center? He said, Coach, I can do it as long as I get some practice. Right then, I said, I got your practice. I went into my office at school, got him my football, I got my quarterback, and he started getting some snaps right there at practice. I mean, in the gym at PE, got him some snaps in, and I told Kelsey and Donovan, me and Coach Gardner had talked about moving them to the inside and moving our 2 guards that we had on the inside. No, we had a center and a guard. On the inside, we talked about moving them to the outside. So we put our 6'5" tackle in. We put our other 5'10" other tackle in, and we inserted Carl at our center, and that was the formula.
Playoff run. Oh man, we was excited because again our backs was against the wall. Being North Clay, we've been telling, they had developed this HR Academy, and he was doing power rankings, and he was saying this North Clayton offense not that good, but have a great defense. So the guys was seeing it. They, these kids nowadays, they big on the internet and social media, and they was seeing everything, and they was taking everything to heart. And we went in with one mission, and that was to finish. We had a perfect season on the side of no losses, but giving up points was like it was deflating to not only the players, but the defensive coaches as well. I know Coach Casey, man. Coach Casey coached from the time the game started to the end. There's no stopping Coach from blitzing. I don't care if it's 30 seconds left in the game and we have 40. He would call a doggone blitz, and Coach Washington just looked at him like, man, really? You really had to do it? So we answered the bell. Playoff time was a time to put us on the map. I know that a lot of coaches, 2019, they're going to talk about 2019 a lot. They said it was their redemption year, and each team that we played in this playoff run was a team that they had to face in 2019, which caused some type of problem, and we just checked it off the list. And it felt good. It felt good. That was my favorite. It felt good. I thought Georgia football and Alabama football was different. It is. It's a different animal up in this Atlanta metro area when it comes to athletes and how serious they take football.
AJ Wood, let me hold that beat.
Lacking,